Good afternoon everyone, it's Niall at Learn to Trade the Market. Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to look at the Great British Pound US dollar. Now in the last update we were looking at the pin bar on the sell side, and we can see there the market has actually fallen away and just bottomed out, and there's moving back towards that price pivot there at 143.61. You can see the market did find support, moved up, formed the top, and then cracked the support right there. You can see the subsequent price action has moved down into this support area down towards 135 and 134. Now that was a long-term support level. I won't bother taking the chart out, but if you actually look at the weekly chart in your own time, you can see this is down around the decade-long lows. We're talking back in the 90s. We haven't been this low since that time. So what we've seen is the market move all the way down towards support and form these three pin bars. Now the question that I get, especially from those that have taken my trading courses, I usually ask the newbies to trade with the trend only. So in our last update we talked about this pin bar here as a sell signal, which did come off well. But in the forum, and I've had some emails, I mean, what do you do when you see three pin bars and also a fakie setup? And I'll explain that in a moment. What do you do if it's against the trend, and how do you know to take it? Well, there's a lot of open discussion about that at the moment. There is some advances being made in terms of back testing, and what's been found is that if a pin bar forms in combination with a fakie, which I will explain in a moment, it has a higher expectation of moving in the desired direction. So what that means is if it's against the trend, you want to see at least one other pin bar to back up a confirmation, and ideally you want to see a fakie setup. Now I've been backtesting this on the British pound, and I'll show you the fakie setup first. Now we all should know what the inside bar is. It's this bar here in the middle that is the inside bar, and the fakie is when you have a bar that breaks below the mother candle, okay, right there. So this is the false break here, and then we want the market to shimmy back up. Everyone should know that by now if they've been looking at the videos on the site. But how do you know as a newbie when to take these trades against the trend? Well, let's just look at the setup here. We had the inside bar right there, and then we had the fakie candle right here, and this is where the false break was. You can see if I just draw the line through the lows, you can see this is a false break. The entry is on the break above the high of the pin bar. That is how you trade these triple pins or fakies with pin bars. It only is applicable to the fakie setup when you have a pin bar. So it doesn't mean that if you were to see an inside bar like this, let's say they didn't have any tails and then the market just broke down like this and then moved up. Okay, that is not applicable in this instance. What we need to see is the market forming a pin bar first, and then either another pin bar or an inside bar, and then the fakie must be a pin bar structure. Okay, this is the false break. The trigger is to take the market movement back through the highs. Now what that means is we're using positive momentum to confirm the trade. Okay, so this stuff is really great, but there is a lot of interpretation to price action. There's signals you look for, but then you've got to develop gut feel, intuition, and you've got to develop the ability to read these charts depending on, you know, where the signal forms. Is it in relation to support, moving average, etc.? And this is really combining a couple of signals together to know when to trade counter trend. So let's just assume we knew how to trade that setup. We've identified the entry as a buy on stop here. We could ride that up to that old swing point there as the target, and you'll be up, you know, quite a significant amount of pips already, but that would be the ultimate target because that was the prior support and is now a new resistance point. So hopefully that helps clarify a little bit of confusion that has been going on, especially in the forum. You know, we've been getting a lot of people just post up signals when they're not really signals. So hopefully that's cleared up the confusion, and I look forward to your comments. See you in the next video. Take care.